conference this weekend,
Cool.
and we had a member of the 70, which name I can no longer remember, part of being old. But he was talking about in the scriptures, nowhere in there does it say that we should go and teach the gospel. Nowhere ever will you find that our purpose here on earth is to go and teach the gospel. But instead, it's our job to go and preach the gospel and to let the Holy Ghost do the teaching. So think about that one this week. And look for those opportunities to go and preach the gospel. And then pray that the Holy Ghost will do the rest. Where the Holy Ghost definitely knows more than all that we do, and can confirm, in their hearts and their minds that what we're teaching, or what we're preaching, is true. And I say that in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
What's the difference between preaching and teaching?
So preaching is telling what we know, right? Teaching is the Holy Ghost's job, and that's with confirmation. Does that make sense?
It's legit.
Cindy, you don't look convinced. Okay, that's yours. There you go. There's your second part of that assignment. Go find out.
Right.
Go into Preach My Gospel, and it'll help you.
I will go report. Report back.
Okay.
Where's Bridget?
She's having internet issues. She'll be in and out.
Bummer. I like Bridget.
Yeah. But she can watch this at the end if she wants to go back.
There she is.
I am here.
Yes.
I'm here, but I turned off my camera, so that might help my waning internet to function.
Okay.
I'll chime in.
Okay, I'm sorry you're again. Well, so did you guys love this or what?
I did
No.
until I started questioning my
It
answer.
was short.
I like that. This is probably like my second or third favorite case so far. So I actually like this one over, especially over last week's. I like the math on this one better.
The weird thing to me for this one was what they showed us to do in the video was a little bit different than what they had us do on the questions, because they didn't have us do the buy down on the one problem.
Yeah.
On problem 3 there was no buy down, and on problem 4 there was. So that we'll see how bad I got it. You guys can correct me. So home plate, you guys all know about it. That passionate young lady. That was pretty good. She gave herself 100,000 shares for $1,000 to get started. And then she got that investor for $50,000 to help her to growth, right? So I'm supposed to share my answers with you. And then if there's discrepancies, we should work together to find the right answer. So be gentle, because I'm fragile. So did you guys just answer the questions at the bottom of the case study, or did you fill out the thingy that it always puts on how to do a case study?
I just did the questions at the bottom.
I did the questions.
I did a regular case analysis and then used the answers to the questions as the evidence part.
Yeah. I did that too. I did both. So for 1A, I put that with Lexi's $1,000, she had 100,000 shares and she had 100% ownership.
Yep.
Is that what you guys got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
That means I got one right.
that's how, I was just thinking that. So on 1B, I guess I can share my thingy. You guys probably all did the same thing though. 1B, the angel investor, I showed that if they did the 50 cents per share, that the angel investor would also have 100,000 shares and would have 50% ownership.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 for.
Good job, team.
loving this. I hope this continues.
We'll only have a 10-minute discussion.
Well, no, I'm full of it. We can go longer, I promise. Assuming Lexi and the Angel agreed on $1 per share in the seed round, what share of the company would she own after Series A? Assuming she raises $300,000 at $250 per share, what share of the company would Angel own and Potato Rock? Which every time I read makes me hungry for potatoes. So I put that the Angel investor would have the Series A investor, the Potato Rock. My math said that they would have 120,000 shares.
Yep.
Somebody say yes?
Yes, that's.
I got that too, yeah.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. You share your spreadsheet because I'm off.
Yeah. I can. Here, hang tight.
I had 120,000 shares and 44%.
Oh, I had 40%.
I had 44.
I had 44.
Oh, crap. You don't want me to share mine. I'm Mr. Wrong. I'm Mr. Wrong.
Well,
I just did everything divided by 270,000 shares because that's how many they have between the three of them. So
right.
120.
Oh,
right?
see, I figured that there was 300,000 shares.
Yeah.
So that was my makeup. I put that the Angel investor got 20,000 and that Lexi would have 160,000.
See, I have the Angel. I have everyone at their, 150 and then 120 equals 270.
So the reason I put the 300,000 is I thought that the Series A investor, that they set the valuation of the company, and if they set the valuation of the company at 300,000, then like the example that we watched in the video, that there would therefore be 300,000 shares of stock, because that's how it worked on when I watched the little video with the dude.
Well, your spreadsheet right there says 120,000 shares given.
That's just for that one, right? But I'm talking value. They were given 120,000 shares because they paid a price of $2.50 per. Yeah, didn't they pay $2.50 per share, and that's how they get the.
They did, and then that divided with 300,000.
They're valuing the company. Let me go to another screen, and I can show my Excel sheet. Let's see, where are you? You lovely little devil. So this is hello, that's my Excel sheet. So if we go down here, again, I figured that they're placing a value. This up here is the practice thing that we did. And those guys said that there was 300,000 is what that company valued it at. And so I just thought where they said there were, it was valued at 300,000 on that Series A investor, that there would be 300,000 shares. And based off of that the Series A investor, based at the $2.50 per share, would have 120,000 shares, and that would give them 40% ownership. And that because there was no buy down from the Angel investor, that for their $50,000 at $2.50 per share, they would have 7% of the company, and that Lexi would have to have the remainder of the 300,000 shares, so therefore she would have 160,000 or 53% stake. So you guys all got something different?
Well, it sounds like a majority of us got 44%, but I'm thinking even though the majority of us have got that, maybe we're the ones that are wrong.
So let me ask real quick. So this is question 3 on the sheet? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So let me see, because I got the 270,000 total shares.
So that's what I got too. And I'm thinking it's because we evaluated it wrong, and I did it purely based off of numbers. I actually didn't even use an evaluation. Like, I didn't use a valuation number. And I saw that in the video, but I just didn't use it for this question. So I based it off of the initial seed funding and then first round just by filling in the blank numbers. So they gave 300,000. doing the math there and then taking what we had from the initial and adding it to that.
But your seed funding doesn't affect your valuation of the company. The seed funding is just, here's some money, and we're going to let the next Class A person decide what your company's valued at, right?
Exactly. And so my valuation is what I think could be off, is what I'm saying. Is like, even though most of us got 40%, I'm thinking that, or 44, I'm thinking that maybe we're the ones that are wrong. But I don't know.
So let me just walk through what I did real quick, and you guys can tell me like if I got a step wrong or something. So step one was the initial 100,000 shares for a penny each for the $1,000. So the founder had 100,000 shares, right? Next, I had the dollar per share, $50,000 angel investment. And so that was a total of 150,000 shares. And then I had the 300,000 at the 250 per share for the Series A, giving me the 120,000 shares. And that was a total of the 300,000 for that round. So I guess with everything at 250 per share, if you had the initial 100,000 shares plus the 50,000 shares plus the 120,000 shares, that gave me the 270. Did I miss something?
No, you're
Okay.
doing it right, because if we went by Guy's way, you would have to take 300,000 plus 50,000 plus 1,000.
No, you wouldn't. You're again the math that you're doing is extra. It's said in the video that it's the Series A investor is the one that sets the valuation of your company, and
Right.
based on that valuation, based on that valuation is how many shares of stock you have.
But it didn't ask us about valuation. It asked us what percentage they own.
That's how you figure the percentage that they own. You have to know how many stock shares you have.
So basically, I guess from like what I did then, are you saying that I shouldn't have done the 50,000 shares for the angel investor? So so they wouldn't have the 50,000. So what would they have? Like, would they have a certain number of shares, or?
So no, they don't get, the angel investor gets nothing. They just have that investment, and they typically, like in the next problem, where you talk about the convertible, where they say, okay, we're going to give you X amount of money, and we're going to let someone else value your company. And when they value your company, we expect a 10% discount rate because we were the first ones to invest. And then what it says is they are hoping that whomever invests in that company places the valuation low so that they have a greater portion of ownership in the company. So when you're figuring stocks off of the example they gave, and I could be wrong, I'm indifferent, but from my comprehension with the video that we watched, it was the person that valued the company on that example problem at the 300,000, that's what decided there were 300,000 shares of stock, not how much the angel investor gave and not how much the original owner put in of their own money. Those two things are extraneous. They didn't have any impact on the evaluation. What did have an impact on how much the angel investor got is what the Class A, the Series A investor gave, and then they used their buy down so that they could have more shares of stock. But if I'm wrong, that's cool. But that's what I watched in the video I saw.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just confusing as to why it would say like the angel agreed on the dollar per share. Like why would they have even worried about the dollar per share? What was I guess in the future, once it is valued at the 250 per share, what was the purpose of having the dollar per share agreement?
I don't know.
I guess that's what's throwing me off. So I'm not sure like who's right or wrong to be honest. But yeah, so I came up with the 44, but you may well be right. I'm not sure.
I have no clue either.
I don't think, here's the deal. Not worth carrying any torches or burning down any houses.
Yeah.
Because it's just getting us to think anyway, right?
Right.
No blood needs drawn. No Walls need built.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my logic and how I did it. And if your guys is different, that's totally cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know which one's right, and I don't know if I don't know if it matters. Like as long as we tried and did it, good job.
Right. And that's all it is. We kill ourselves putting all this extra effort and concern into it and who's right and who's wrong. Bottom line, I'm still going to get an A out of this class, even if I'm, smoking my lunch. Because they just want you to think and try.
Did you guys get that email chain from Kristen Wiederhold a while ago, and she was up in arms about the grades that we were getting?
Yep.
So I was she was in the group I was originally in. I was originally in her group, and they were the ones that changed the time, and I had to leave. Anyways, but I feel like he's been grading really easy. Have you guys been getting creamed on exhibits or anything, or?
No, he's giving me killer grades. He's giving me A's on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no complaints from me. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That was
coming from. She emailed me personally and asked if I would send her my input, and I just kind of told her I don't know, but I thought that was strange.
I got the same email, and I said I actually appreciate Brother Brown.
Yeah, I have no problem with how he's doing the class. So.
Yeah. I just deleted it. I thought, who's this? I don't know this person. They're acting like they know me.
Yeah.
And all he's asking us to do.
Everybody. Emailed everyone in the class.
That's weird. Yeah.
She carbon copied everyone, and then she emailed. She emailed me personally and asked me specific questions, and I was like, I don't know. Okay.
So number four will be fun to see if you guys are all the same and if I'm weird again. But so on that one, I came out with 34 for the Series A, 6% for the Angel, and 59% for Lexi.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Sweet.
How many shares? Sorry, go Eric.
How many shares?
Okay, number 4.
So this is number 4. I got for the founder, I got 100,000 shares, 41% equity. Angel investor, I had ending up with 22,222 shares for 9%, and then the Potato Rock for 120,000 shares at 50% equity.
That's what I got as well.
Maybe I'll get a crappy grade on this one. Just ruin my day.
No, I think after that whole email thing, I bet he grades pretty easy, so he's off the hook. So I think you're fine.
I'm not going to lose any sleep. I found out I got accepted to grad school today, so I'm pretty pumped.
Did you?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I was worried about it because I didn't study for the GRE. I didn't have time. I just went in and took it one morning.
Oh, gosh.
So I didn't study at all. It was pretty horrible, but I scored well enough to, I couldn't have got into Harvard, but I got into ISU, so there you go.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
That's good.
So how does the convertible debt affect Lexi's ownership or share of her firm?
In this case, I have that it benefited Lexi. Let's see, I had the comparison, but yeah, so basically what happened was instead of the angel investor paying whatever it was, the $1 per share, they ended up having to pay the $2.25 with that 10% discount. So overall, the angel investor ended up with less equity in the company. And the founder had more, so yeah.
Our numbers are different, but it ends up the same.
Yeah, same concept.
Yep. What about you other guys? Bridget, what'd you get? Sure.
I got the same thing, 41, 9, and 50. And I said that, yeah, it's definitely better for her to go with convertible debt because she'll get more than any other scenario with the angel investor. I mean, even if she sells for $1 a share, he gets 19% of the company, and that takes her down to 37%. So I said she should go for convertible debt.
I did as well.
I did too.
Bodie, how come you just said sure? What's wrong, man?
All of it. No, actually, I haven't got to number 5. So I got as far as number 4. I got all kinds of spreadsheets built, and I'm off by a few numbers here and there. But
again, man, this isn't. If they wanted this to be exact, they'd give us. There'd be less ambiguity, right? It'd be more precise in the numbers.
Well, and he said in his hints that he wasn't so much. This one wasn't about numbers. I mean, it wasn't. There isn't an exact answer. So
we all agree that convertible debt's better for Lexi. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, we're friends. It's all good. So you guys liked this one? That's it. There's only 5, unless you want to go through the case study thing like Bridget and I did.
Cindy's laugh. It's funny. She's like,
That's a no.
I guess
That was a big no. Sheesh. I can take a hint.
I had to watch that video like 6 times. It was a lot for me.
So I watched it really slowly. Maybe that's what got me wrong. I settled in and had some trail mix and just watched it really slow. I must add some funky raisins in my trail mix, and that's how I got off from you guys.
must be that cloud that you're floating on, guy.
I am so relieved.
That's awesome.
Yeah, your brain is fried probably. That's probably it.
I just barely found out on the way home today. I did this. I broke the Sabbath and did this yesterday. That's probably why.
Oh boy.
For me to stay ahead, I know that's the big thing now, but that's what I have to do to stay ahead. And by ahead, I mean turning everything in on time.
What are you going for your master's in?
An MBA. So I like business a little bit. So I'll get an MBA with an emphasis in project management probably. I could make more in healthcare, but so doctors are, I don't really want to put up with spoiled doctors. Doctors are, we're recording or I could tell you, well, I could still tell you the story. I just won't use any names. There's a hospital in a town that I used to work in that I had to put satellite radio in the surgery suites because the doctors were threatening to no longer perform surgeries in this hospital if they didn't get satellite radio installed for them. So it was lovely for me because I got the business right, but it was very expensive because it took a lot of time because they had 4 surgical suites, and as they cleaned each suite, we were wearing the Gumby clothes, and we had to go out while a sanitation crew went in and sterilized the last suite. So they had at least 3 suites ready for emergencies at all times for surgeries. But anyway, they had the card locks, the swipe locks installed on their doors for security. And we had to be let in and out because they weren't going to let us have access. But one of the physicians had forgotten his key card and he was headed in for surgery. And apparently, I don't know if he'd already washed his hands or what his deal was, but instead of going back to get his card or instead of buzzing the nurse to be let in, he proceeded to kick the doors in.
Wow.
And it did about $4,000 worth of damage that he refused to pay for.
Wow.
The end.
Was an emergency.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want to babysit rich guys. I think I'd just rather work with normal people.
Sounds logical.
And I'll make less money because of it. It'll be my own fault. So there you go.
That's funny.
All right.
Isn't that inspiring? You can tell your kids that tonight for bedtime story.
Family home evening right there.
Once upon a time, I had a chubby friend named Guy that did work at a hospital. Somebody lost control of themselves and kicked in a door at the end.
Refused to pay for it.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I can't imagine behaving that way.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What else do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to drag this?
Where are we at on the clock there, Cindy?
Is there a clock that ticks off? I don't know. I know it's like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, I don't. It's been like 30 minutes.
So we can do a summary, or we can chit chat for a while and then do a summary.
How long does this? Is the minimum is what, 45 minutes, or is there really a set minimum?
That's what it said.
This, Caitlin, this is that painful?
No,
Do we
I'm
have
just
to
curious.
step?
Well, no, I'm saying if we've covered everything, you know.
If I turn my camera
Yeah,
off,
I agree.
Well, okay, so fun fact, I actually kind of figure, I mean, I don't know if his RA watches these, but I know Brother Brown doesn't watch these at all, because he emailed me the other day and wasn't aware that I was even in a group. He was like, what? He's like, he was, because he was like, he was like, I contacted your group because he thought I was still in my old group, but I changed it on the Google Doc. And he was like, oh, so I have seen you've not been meeting. Like, where, like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, like, I'm in group 7. Like, I'm in every video, and I've been submitting the post-doc discussions and with those people's names. And he was like, oh yeah, those videos and didn't ever, and it was just weird. Like, I could tell he had no clue like what I was doing. It like he was like, I thought you weren't participating with the group, and I was like, I have been for like 4 weeks.
You're in the best.
But anyways, so I don't know if he even watches these, but I mean, his RAs probably do. But it was kind of funny. It was like an awkward email thread. Weird.
He told me with the content that because before Eric and I were graciously added to your group, this group, I had like mine didn't download a video one night right away for Eric and I, and so I emailed in so that Eric wouldn't get docked because I'd already done it with Bodie and Bridget, and he said that it was fine. It was not that big of a deal. He just wanted it to know that we actually were doing it, and that's why he kind of wanted the summary mark, and that with the amount of content that they have to watch each week with all the groups creating all these videos, that it was unreasonable for him to watch the entire thing.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't even blame him if he didn't even check to see. Like, I don't even blame if he didn't even watch our summaries, because really, just grading the case studies alone, I can imagine takes him forever. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I actually do a video submission because I don't want to type everything, so I just talk for 3 minutes. But it's like, if you have that many kids, like students submitting stuff, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still getting grade. I just got my grade back just now while we're sitting here for the Horowitz-Androsine case. So that was like 2 weeks ago. It's like things are. I don't blame him.
They take a while.
Yeah.
I don't have the looks to do videos for him, and so I figured written word is better for my grade.
Man, the written though, I will say, like, I did the first 2 weeks submissions written, and then I was like, I can talk like pretty fast. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna do videos, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like I get graded I don't know, maybe less harshly because I can explain, like, if I had to write everything I can explain in 3 minutes, I would like write a 2-page thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just takes so much time to type for me. So, but I do feel bad because I usually film them like late at night after my baby's in bed and I'm like already in pajamas and my hair is like, I'm like, whatever. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must.
Does anyone else do video submissions for their? I do video for everything. I do my case analysis and my end of week reflection as a video. Do you guys?
Really?
Does anyone else do that?
No, I type everything up. I like to type.
Oh man.
I don't like to talk in a video.
I might try that. I could handle that. I could do the talking.
I love the talking. Plus, he told me I didn't need to like submit my he was like, oh yeah, just show me your Excel sheet. So when I'm talking, I just like show my notes and like what I did. I don't actually even submit like documents. So that's kind of nice too, that he can't like grade my math a little bit too. But, fun fact.
Might be interesting.
Yeah. But,
well, we're at the 39-minute mark. I just got an A on my Horowitz analysis, so that's great.
Yeah,
I know. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
I just got an A, no comments, nothing. I'm like, sweet.
No,
Yeah, I think he's
Like,
buzzing through these because I feel like at the beginning of the semester he wrote like paragraphs of comments on he wrote all these comments, and like one time he shared a link to a general conference talk or something, and I was like,
yeah, I
And
got
that
that.
Yeah, I
That's
think
on-
that was a standard message because I got that too.
oh,
but I
well,
didn't get a grade. I got the overall feedback with the link, but I didn't get a grade on it.
oh, he must have just sent out the comments and then he's going back and still catching up with grading.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that lady was so upset about the grading.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. That's weird.
Was Caitlin, was she a troublemaker? I mean,
She was just really uptight. Like when I was in her group, there was only 4 of us, and she led every discussion. She did not give anyone like a say. Like it was like I was actually telling my husband, I was actually kind of relieved that our schedules didn't work out, because once I was in their group, I was like, it's like I didn't want to change, but we just had like pretty conflicting opinions, and there was a quieter gentleman in our group, and she would just like stomp on his opinions. And I was like, oh. So she's really nice. She's actually very nice, just very vocal and very like organized. And I guess she's owned like multiple businesses. Her and her husband have like, so she was just like, well, from my experience, I know this. But it was kind of interesting. Like we never had group discussions like this. She was like, okay, I'm going to share a scripture and then we'll get started. And she'd talk and then she'd be like, and she always did the summary. So she'd be like, so-and-so's here, so-and-so's here. This is what we did. Thanks, bye. So it was like funny. I feel like I never really talked. Like I would just sit there and then she'd like call on us. Like it was more like a teacher student role. It was weird.
well, we're glad you came over to our group.
Me too.
Yeah. We're glad you broke up with that group and joined ours.
Me too. It worked out for the best.
Did you tell them it wasn't them, it was you?
Well, I was like, yeah, I was kind of like, no hard feelings. Haha, sorry, I gotta go. Bye.
We can still be friends.
Yeah.
Like, really, I see this group more as friends.
This is much better. Much better.
I'm so glad it's not discussion boards. Those drive me insane. So
Ooh.
I am happy about that. I'd rather do a group discussion board any day.
I agree. I'm like real. It's hard for me to even keep track of the discussion boards because I'm in another class right now where there's like 2 a week, but then you have to make a certain amount of replies to each. I forget
It's like 8 times. You're like, I'm done. I can't handle it.
You're like, okay, I posted, and then you can't see, like, it doesn't keep track of how many times you've commented. So you're like, did I reply to this one yet? Like, did I fulfill my 3 or 2 talking points? And so I think I end up doing a lot more work than I need to because I'm trying to overcompensate for the lack of organization. Weird.
So actually, there is a place that you can look, Caitlin.
What?
Yeah, under discussions. Oh, hold on. Let me not put my foot in my mouth. Oh no, under my grades, under class progress.
Okay.
You can actually go in and click on that. It says discussions, and it'll tell you how many per assignment in each group that you've posted.
Oh
and then
my
how many
god.
replies you made.
There you go.
Somebody,
I didn't know that.
I've gone through like now 4 years of school. I'm on my last year and I'm just finding this out.
Good thing you jumped ship from that other class or that other group.
I'm so mad. I have a sister who's a sophomore, and I'm going to call her after we get off with this and explain it to her because we were just talking about this like last week. That's ridiculous.
I should go on the Facebook group and put it on there so everybody knows.
You should. You would be everyone's hero, really. Oh my gosh.
You can just comment on like the, group whatever questions, comments of the week. Just put it on there.
Yeah. Hey, there's my aha moment.
There you go.
There you go, Caitlin. There's your aha moment for the
Oh, I'm gonna use it.
reflection.
There you go.
And that's how I'll know if he really watches my end of reflection videos. If he responds to that and be like, "You didn't talk about a case." Like, we'll see if he actually watches my videos every week.
Nice.
I think it is a TA now because she left a big long comment on mine.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
I just wonder if she does the same thing for like people who like don't like send a written, because I send a video. So that's what I'm wondering, if she will watch my whole video to know that. We'll see. But I'm gonna put that on there.
Do a trial, and next week we'll report back.
Yeah, we'll like report different things.
Someone just
And
do
for the rest,
just do some gibberish, and we'll see if they read it.
I'll just like talk in like Spanglish about nonsense. Won't even be in English. We'll just wing it.
I have an aha moment, and it has nothing to do with this class at all.
yeah.
Open PowerPoint. Can't get it to open. Come on. Okay, so open PowerPoint, and it like has this little template. Oh, there it is. And it says lorem ipsum. You guys know what that is?
It's Latin.
It's like Latin gibberish that they like designers use it for when they make a website. They just plug in this gibberish Latin like as a placeholder.
Yep.
And it's called lorem ipsum.
I only knew that because I do web design freelance, but that is I copy and paste Latin into everything for placeholding if no one sends me content on time and I need to get the website done.
Well, I always thought it was somebody's name, and I was like, this is like the dumbest name I've ever heard, but whatever.
Lorem ipsum or whatever.
Gibberish, that's why. So I'll do lorem ipsum on my documents, and you guys do whatever you want.
Great.
Ebonics.
Okay, I think we've done 45 minutes now, so we can.
All right, guys, give us a summary.
Yeah.
I'm scared to. I don't want to be the mean person that dominates you guys.
It's your turn. You're just being.
So in summary, the only one that wants to go to business school can't do math. No, we all loved the case. It was more math. It was fun. We agreed on the points. Our numbers might not have been the same. Everyone agreed but me. I'm disagreeable. And we really, really think that she should use the convertible method to maintain greater equity in her company. The end.
Good job.
Good job.
All right, well, this was a good class. So I will stop the broadcast, and we'll do a closing prayer and get out of here.
Woohoo.